A lot of weavers have become interested in sewing, which is just a wonderful thing, because if you can sew, then the variety of projects that you can complete with your woven fabric just opens up so much. But I also understand that there are plenty of you out there who may never have touched a sewing machine before, or maybe you did a little bit of sewing at school, depending on how old you are, but you really just don't have the confidence. Maybe you are sewing on a borrowed machine, maybe you've just purchased one new and you're not really sure where to start. I'm putting together a little series of videos to help you get familiar with a sewing machine, with all the different parts and the tools, and also to give you a little bit of advice about sewing machines. I'll be putting them in a playlist, and the playlist will be called Sewing for Weavers. I'm going to add to this a little bit at a time so that it's not too overwhelming, but just so that those of us who do sew, or those of us who are interested in sewing, have a starting point. I'll start by telling you a little bit about my sewing machine, because I think it's really relevant to the discussion of how you're going to decide which machine to get, where it's going to come from, how much your budget allows, all that kind of thing. So my machine is a basic Janome. I don't even know the model number, but I know that it's not available anymore. You can't buy this exact machine unless, of course, you buy it secondhand. But I did have another Janome machine before this one, and so I've only had 2 sewing machines, and I think Janome is a great brand. I bought this one as a floor stock model from a sewing shop. So what that basically means is that they were using this model in the sewing shop as a demonstration model and for sewing classes when they had people coming in taking classes. And yes, I was one of those people originally. And so buying it as a floor stock item, you get a heavy discount, because obviously it's been used multiple times. So that is a great option if you are looking for a machine, looking at an actual sewing shop, because the machine will be serviced up to date, it will be in working order, and the people who sell it to you will be able to tell you about it. They might even give you a little lesson on how to use it. The second thing I want to point out about this machine is it's a really simple machine, and I want to say to all of you who think that you need all of the bells and whistles with a sewing machine, you do not need all the bells and whistles, because all they really do is jack the price of the machine right up. For sewing hand woven fabric, you only need a basic machine, trust me. It's what I've done for years and years. I'm going to be going through all of the stitches and what all the dials are for and everything. But just as an example, you can see here that I have the option of all of these extra decorative style of stitches. But I want to tell you, with this machine, I use only 2 of the stitches, and they're the only 2 that I think of as being essential, and every basic sewing machine will be able to do those 2 stitches. So don't think you have to buy the latest and the greatest. It can get really expensive.